Welcome to Module 10 discussion. Reflections on child welfare services. First, I'm going to reflect on my personal values um, concerning child welfare services. My views have changed over the years as I've gotten older and understand things that I witnessed and went through as a child. So I have a lot more context now. But when I was growing up, CPS was not um, Child Protective Services. CPS was not ever a good thing in reference to me, my childhood, and growing up. I was never taken into child protective custody, but many of my family members, cousins, mainly, I witnessed being taken, and it as a child, it was a really traumatizing thing to go through. Um, I had cousins that were removed from my family who I didn't see for years, that didn't come back and find our family until they were well into their early 20s, and they had been taken when we were like 8 or 9 years old. Um, so to me, growing up, CPS was a scary thing. If someone called, reported something from the family, it was a good chance that you would never see that family member again, and that was scary. Um, as an adult now, looking back, I do understand why those things had happened to some degree. Um, I do know one instance in particular with one of my first cousins. Um, CPS was called because of my aunt's ex-husband, and he kind of basically used CPS as a way to get back at her for leaving him, essentially. And there was a lot of false reporting, and those cousins weren't taken away. In the instance where I had cousins taken away, it some not nice things were going on, unfortunately. So in those situations, yes, CPS did exactly what they were supposed to do. The system worked. Unfortunately, it doesn't always, for one reason or another, usually due to human error. Um, so that's kind of my general overview of what and how I feel about CPS. Like I said, now it's a lot different, and being a cog in that system, having the know-how in reporting, and just having boots on the ground and having some say in what's going on gives me a lot more hope um, in the direction that CPS and child protective services, social work, it gives me a more positive view. Um, the other part of the question was, how might these values and experiences impact your work? Um, pardon me, as a social worker. I think this would make me more mindful of how traumatic and how life changing getting involved with CPS can be, and how much impact as a social worker you have on these families, whether it be good or bad. Um, so I think my personal experiences would help me, but they could also hinder me, because they were generally negative experiences. But like I said, my mindset on that has changed quite a bit as an adult because I have a better understanding of what was happening and the reasons. So CPS doesn't always get called just for no reason. It can happen, but you know, I would like to think most people report with good intentions, not just, to mess with someone's family or because they have some vendetta. And that does happen, but I would like to think that's not always the case. So, um, what strategies can help social workers remain ethical and culturally responsive uh, with their personal views, or when their personal views differ from those of families they serve? Um, I think in general, um, just making sure that you're acting for the best interest of the family and the children. If you're pushing your thoughts, your values, your wants, your needs onto the children and family that you serve, that's not really helpful in what you're supposed to do. So just making sure you're following the guidelines and rules, doing what's ethically okay, not crossing boundaries, and just providing services and care within the guidelines that you're supposed to. And also, reaching out to other social workers, colleagues, mentors, uh, to maybe get guidance if you're kind of lost on what to do, or if you're having issues with a particular family. Maybe you just need to step off that case and give it to somebody that is better equipped to deal with their needs. So yeah, that's it. Sorry, I was kind of rambling this time around, but that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.